With a WWE star's contract status and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. With Bron Breakker done with NXT following his loss of the tag team title with Baron Corbin last night, Fightful noted that last night was Bron Breakker's final night in NXT and had a send-off both in the ring and backstage. There have been pitches for Baron Corbin to join Breakker on SmackDown and continue their tag team on the main roster. Mentioning her health, Piper Niven said this in an interview, as Ringside News wrote that in an interview with Gorilla Position, Piper Niven opened up about her injury, revealing that she broke her hand in February. She humorously shared, "Who wants to see my gross hand? Broke my hand. Training, trying to be a better performer. Obviously, the universe was like, no, you're too good. Come on, you gotta give somebody else a chance. So yeah, broke my hand, unfortunately, and it still looks gnarly." She pinpointed the incident to February 7th, emphasizing that it's been just over 2 months since the injury occurred. Despite the setback, Niven expressed optimism, stating, "It's getting a little better, so I'll have this gnarly little bone callus that I can't wait to backfist people with." When asked about her clearance for return, Niven admitted that she was not yet cleared. However, she viewed the injury as a necessary learning experience, focusing on personal and professional growth during her time off. "Honestly, I feel like this was kind of necessary. Like, I've never broken a bone or really had. I've been out before, especially with COVID and stuff, but I've never had any real injury, and I kind of feel like this was a very necessary learning experience for me," she shared. Niven remained optimistic about her comeback, expressing eagerness to showcase her improved skills upon her return. She said, "I'm very excited to show everyone that when I get back." Regarding a potential character reset upon a return, Niven acknowledged the possibility, stating, "Yes, I think so. Or maybe a better understanding of the character, a better understanding of myself." Revealing advice that she received from Mark Henry, Jade Cargill said this to Jazzy's World TV. "That's like my wrestling father. He told me to keep my head down, do the work, and then my work will speak for itself, and I still continuously hold that to my heart today." When it comes to Trick Williams taking on Carmelo Hayes next week on NXT in a cage match, Fightful reported that the steel cage match stipulation was considered for Carmelo Hayes' and Trick Williams' stand and deliver bout. Touching on a merchandise record that Cody Rhodes broke, Ringside News wrote that Fightful Select reported that Cody Rhodes surpassed his performance from WrestleMania 39 during WrestleMania 40 weekend, achieving a new personal best. An internal WWE memo circulated among several members of the company revealed that Rhodes generated over $1 million in merchandise sales through WWE World and Shop during WrestleMania weekend. This amount exceeded his previous WrestleMania weekend record. Discussing AEW's plan to air the footage from All In, Jeff Jarrett said this on his My World podcast. "It goes without saying that the highest trafficked weekend out of all 52 weeks of the year online is WrestleMania Monday. But now that WrestleMania is 2 nights, I would assume that the metrics are sky high on night 1 and night 2, and today going into day 3, they're all going to be very high. To create that kind of buzz, I mean, people have come unhinged in so many kind of different ways. I often in my mind think, now Jeff, are you not processing this in 2024 mindset? Because Conrad, from the day I broke in, I was always of the mindset to create the most revenue. I know this sounds cliche, but to create the most revenue in our industry, you gotta have big personalities and larger than life, and you gotta define who's the protagonist and antagonist, babyface and heel, all those kind of things. But at the very core, the way to create the most revenue is to blur the lines, period. End of story. Blur the lines on, now is that real? Or is, wait a minute, that wasn't supposed to happen. That wasn't supposed to be said. Nowadays, everybody is perceived so in tune with the business. Hey man, you went off script. You look at the success. I'm not going to get into the territory days because it's what they did every Saturday morning, not just in Memphis, but around the country. Try to blur the lines, get people dialed in. Well, the Attitude Era at its very core kicked it off. In WO, it was the WWF invading WCW. Hogan, Hall, and Nash. Holy smokes, we never thought we would see that. Then you got onto the Attitude Era and you go, oh my God, Vince is really the boss. And Austin's talking to him that way? There's no way. Austin went off script. The whole domino effect and the ebb and flow of it all is blurring the lines. So what a set of circumstances that we have on Wednesday. The whole essence of, we're going to see real footage. I'm assuming, I don't have any insider knowledge. I actually worked there, but I'm glad I don't know any of this because it makes it fun. We're going to see the security footage. Shivani said security camera footage. We're going to see real footage. And how's this going to blur the lines? Where's it going? Who's involved? Who's not involved? But certainly a weekend that was obviously the whole world was talking WWE and WrestleMania and everything that goes with it. And the new regime, I would say AEW is quite a bit of chatter. Whether it's good or bad, that's up for everyone's debate. But at the end of the day, we'll see how it plays out on Wednesday. And that's the greatest thing about this business that I learned as a kid. Hey son, there's always Saturday morning. We get to reshuffle the deck. I don't care how good or bad our TV or our houses were this week. We got to go do it again and saddle up. So it's exciting, man. It is so exciting. Giving a gift to IShowSpeed for his involvement at WrestleMania. This clip was posted on social media.
Okay, IShowSpeed, because you helped me retain the United States Championship and you took that nasty RKO from Randy Orton. The Prime Team want to get you a little something.
What?
Ready?
Come on, bro.
Yeah, son. You gotta stop this, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta be lying, bro. It's yours. No way you gave me this. No way this dude gave me a store shit. We wrapped it in black because you know that solar eclipse.
Because I'm black?
No, because the solar eclipse, it blocked out the sun.
You can like drop through this.
Yes, you don't even have to look.
Yeah,
the
like
road.
you can just
go. Oh, wait. Oh, you ran over the bow.
Reflecting on his win of the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania 40, Damian Priest noted on WWE's The Bump, winning the world title means a lot to us. I mean, it solidifies our group. We have Rhea, the women's world champion, and me, the men's world champion. I think if you look at the history of factions, where does that put the Judgment Day now? We've had the undisputed tag team titles. We've had North American titles. Now we have world titles. I don't see how we're not in the conversation for one of the best factions of all time. Taking a shot at the Young Bucks and their segment on AEW Dynamite, Grayson Waller wrote on X later today, I'm going to share exclusive security camera footage of myself and Austin Theory beating up the entire WWE locker room backstage. It's time the world knows how tough the SmackDown Tag Champs really are. Talking about his brother Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes said this to Chris Van Vliet. I didn't actually think Cody would leave AEW, but I know some stuff that went on. I think it was just his time. He made a smart decision. Going over the WWE contract status of Drew McIntyre, Ringside News wrote that since the last update on Drew McIntyre's contract status, there have been notable developments in his career, including winning and subsequently losing the World Heavyweight title. Additionally, a major event for Scotland has been announced, sparking speculation about McIntyre's contract status with WWE. Despite these significant events, there hasn't been any new contract update for McIntyre. According to sources via Fightful Select close to him, he remains without a new contract with WWE. However, under the new regime, this situation isn't considered alarming as it has become increasingly common. It's understood that each contract negotiation will vary, and while there are plans for McIntyre within the company, there's no immediate cause for concern regarding his contract status. McIntyre's recent involvement in a feud with CM Punk further underscores WWE's intentions to keep him on board. Originally, McIntyre's contract was set to expire before WWE WrestleMania, but additional time was added to the deal. Currently, the contract is expected to conclude within the next few months. Despite this uncertainty, McIntyre has expressed his desire to remain with WWE while also displaying confidence in his ability to thrive outside of the company if necessary. Asking their stars about the Wembley debut last year, AEW posted this video to TikTok.
Great, I got to fight in it. 81,000 people. It was fun. I bled and fought and got to beat up people. That's all I like to do.
Well, I was there and I was in commentary in Spanish. It was insane. Like the people were just magnetic. Because the energy was magnetic. I wish I could go back. But I wish I was wrestling instead of doing commentary.
AEW at Wembley Stadium, best show in wrestling history.
I thought it was cool. To be honest with you, there was too many people. And they were being a little too loud. It's like, let's all calm down, create some space. I like to frolic. Everywhere I turned, there was another British person.
I actually missed it because I had surgery on my knee, and I was really upset because I wanted to be there, but I will make sure that I'm going to be on this one.
I thought it was incredible. Unfortunately, I was out for it, but I'd really like to get on it this year. Hopefully our boys can win the trios titles, and we can go home out of England with them.
Top flight trios titles in Wembley? That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
I mean, what a spectacle, right? It was unbelievable, just the vast size of that entire event. The first time in the UK, and everyone was pumped to see AEW. AEW was pumped to be there, and the beauty about it is it's starting a new little relationship, which I have some experience in lately, so that's always exciting.
Noting how much The Rock earned following WrestleMania, Ringside News wrote that WWE WrestleMania 40 Sunday featured Cody Rhodes dethroning Roman Reigns as the undisputed Universal Champion, and The Rock was heavily featured on both nights of the show. In fact, the Great One has earned almost $10 million in TKO stock after the showcase of the Immortals. Dwayne Johnson was granted 96,558 shares of TKO Group Holdings Class A common stock on Sunday, April 7th, following his return to the ring at WrestleMania 40 as per Brandon Thurston. These shares hold an approximate value of $9.4 million. According to a recent financial filing, the previously restricted stock units vested upon the completion of certain services outlined in his independent contractor services and merchandising agreement dated January 22, 2024. Interestingly, Dwayne Johnson joined TKO's 13-person board of directors the day after, highlighting his expanded role within the company. Under the terms of the agreement, WWE has the authorization to utilize The Rock's name, image, and likeness for a period of up to 10 years. In return, The Rock is entitled to approximately 400,000 shares of TKO stock, currently valued at around $39 million. According to Sportico, the first 25% of shares were awarded in January when the deal was completed. The next 25% will be awarded at the end of the year, another 25% distributed monthly throughout 2025, and the remaining 25% was the completion of the certain services. While he was initially released by AEW due to budget cuts, Anthony Henry of the Workhorsemen would be brought back shortly after, as he posted this regarding his comeback to the company, writing, "This dude is going to be a problem in about 4 weeks." Revealing how Cody Rhodes made history with his victory at WrestleMania 40 over Roman Reigns, Ringside News noted that Rhodes made history by joining a unique club of his own. With his victory, he became the first individual to have held the WWE, NWA, and Ring of Honor World Championships. Rhodes secured the NWA title by defeating Nick Aldis at the 2018 All-In show. Prior to that, he clinched the Ring of Honor World Championship with a triumph over Christopher Daniels at Best in the World 2017. Posting a criticism of WWE announcer Samantha Irvin, Wrestle Tracker wrote on X, former WWE referee Brian Hebner said, "Samantha Irvin's voice and trying to overdo things is literally making me use my mute button more than I ever have, like nails on a chalkboard." Samantha Irvin replied, "OMG guys, is what I'm hearing actually true? Earl Hebner has a son that's a referee?" For details on WWE launching a new studio, Ringside News wrote that WWE has recently unveiled the studios at WWE, a state-of-the-art complex spanning 30,000 square feet. According to Ken Kirschbaumer at Sports Video Group, the complex comprises 5 studios, including a 5,000 square foot main studio, a 1,500 square foot cyclorama studio, and a 1,500 square foot volumetric LED studio, which is set to open later this spring. Additionally, there are 2 smaller insert stages, each approximately 600 square feet in size, along with a photo studio measuring around 1,000 square feet. It's also noted that WWE is the first U.S. facility to install Crystal LED Verona, implementing a total of 158 cabinets across its main wall and auxiliary carts. Joe Solari, WWE's Vice President of Studio Operations, expressed enthusiasm about the studios at WWE, stating, "We've been bringing people in over the past few days to look at the space that we created, and I think everybody's very excited to get in there and to create on the stages. It gives us new tools and a new canvas to push the limits of what we do here at the WWE. We can take our productions to the next level and really increase our fan engagement. I don't think that there is anything in Connecticut right now that even comes close to what we built here. Not just studio space wise, but the amount of production support that we have." Following John Cena's appearance on Raw, where he teamed up with Miz and R-Truth, Wrestling Stats and Info wrote on X, following his tag team victory on Raw, John Cena has now competed in a televised WWE match in every calendar year since 2002. That's 23 consecutive years with at least one match in WWE for Cena. In an article by Uproxx, AEW president Tony Khan would be asked about CM Punk's comments towards AEW on the MMA Hour, as well as the footage to be shown from the brawl between Punk and Jack Perry, as it was written that as AEW builds towards its Dynasty pay-per-view in St. Louis on April 21st, the promotion is using the behind-the-scenes event at All In from Wembley Stadium last year to move the rivalry forward between the Young Bucks and FTR. Speaking to Uproxx Sports ahead of Wednesday's episode of Dynamite, AEW CEO Tony Khan says it's important for the Young Bucks to explain why this footage is relevant. It'll be a must-see segment when the Young Bucks play this footage and talk about what happened at Wembley Stadium and how it relates to what's coming up next for the Young Bucks and AEW, Khan says. I think that it will create a lot of interest in what this is all about. And I think the Young Bucks will have an explanation for why they think this is important and why it's relevant to what's going on at AEW Dynasty on pay-per-view. The release of this footage comes 1 week after CM Punk shared his side of the story on Ariel Helwani's MMA Hour, offering details about his backstage scuffle with Jack Perry following his infamous Crimea River comment. When asked on his reaction to Punk speaking out and if that impacted the release of this footage, Khan says that was interesting timing given where everything stands. For us, this is a decision based on the timing of our upcoming pay-per-view AEW Dynasty, and given where the Young Bucks stand going into their World Tag Team Championship Tournament Finals at AEW Dynasty, he says this was the right time and place for them to play this footage and talk about why it's relevant to them and AEW going forward and what this means going into AEW Dynasty. The Bucks and FTR showdown will be their fourth under the AEW umbrella, and Khan expects another spectacle. He expressed his belief that their previous 3 matches at Full Gear 2020, on an episode of Dynamite in 2022, and their All-In showdown last year were each a classic. All 3 Young Bucks FTR matches are phenomenal bouts and classic displays of great tag team wrestling, he says. It's another great match at AEW Dynasty, and the rivalry has changed. I think there's always been a lot of interest in Young Bucks versus FTR as 2 of the greatest tag teams of all time and very different teams with very different approaches. I expect the rivalry will keep up, and it should be a very exciting tag team championship tournament final at AEW Dynasty. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.